Hey folks, welcome to verifiedinvesting.com. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here. In today's video, we've got to look at the metals, folks. The metals are going nuts again, especially platinum and palladium. Silver is up to its all-time highs, basically touching that $50 level. Where is that going to potentially run out of steam? And then we got to look at gold. Gold has a parallel that it is piercing. Is it going to confirm another breakout and make another big move? Let's take a look at the charts here. So we're going to start with gold. So here's this parallel we have going back to 2024. Basically, what you see here is you had this kind of upward move in 2024 and then a lot of sideways chop. And then really from this point, from around 2600, we've made this up move, sideways consolidation, and up move. Now, a couple things to go over on this, right? So number one, we can see that this has been a two-phase move. We've had number one from here up, and then number two from here up, right? So number one, we're into a parallel, and a parallel trend line. We're actually piercing it on the daily chart. So you can see we've come back a little off of the highs, but the question we have to ask ourselves as technicians is this a breakout? Or is it potentially a fake out? And the answer for that is not super simple. The answer is we have to wait and see if it confirms above this parallel tomorrow. Now, what is confirmation, folks? Let's dive into it real quick. If we get a daily close above, we want to see another close above, and the close of tomorrow has to be above today's high. If that happens, then the probabilities increase dramatically that it is a real breakout versus a fake out. All right. Now, again, is gold extended? Yes. Could it continue to go? Absolutely, it could, as it has shown time and time again. Another thing we want to look at here on the chart is let's do a measured move. Now, what's a measured move? Well, basically, a measured move here is looking at the start of this move to the first high. So where did it peak? And then the start of this move here to where it could peak next. So what I like to do here, folks, is ultimately say, okay, so we know we're into this kind of pivotal zone here in gold. Number one, we're going to watch to see if it confirms. But if it confirms, where's it going to go? How much higher can it go? And that's where the measured move comes into play. And to do that, we do exactly what I just did. We look at the first move up, which goes from here. So basically, we went from around 2,600 to 3,500. And then from the consolidation zone, where do we go from the start of this move here? Where would be that top? And that next target for a measured move would be right up here. And you guys can see how I came up with that, right? I mean, basically, you take this starting point to the highest, and then we went into this long base of consolidation. And then we take from that consolidation where it starts to break up, essentially right here. You could even make a case that maybe this is right where it starts. But either way, the point being is you're looking at around 4175 to 4,200. That would be your next stepping stone. And remember, these are stepping stones like staircase. In other words, that if we do confirm above this 4,000 level, this level right here, we want to see, okay, well, we've confirmed what happens at the next level. If we break that, where's the next level? And same thing on the way down. As gold pulls back, we're going to say, okay, well, where's our first level of support? Okay, here it is. And if it breaks that, where's our next level of support? A lot of people just go out on these tangents and just say, oh, it's going to 10,000. Okay, well, that's not really helpful, right? I mean, yeah, if I hold it for the rest of my life or the next 10 years, but really we want to look on a shorter term basis. Where are things going? And that's what this is doing right here. All right, so what we have here and what I've given you guys is now the keys to the castle, as I call them. So number one, we're watching right here and we're watching tomorrow. Do we confirm tomorrow? If we do, look at 4,200 as your next target, your next upside level where gold should go very easily. Now, if it starts to pull back, what are we looking at? Well, we got to start looking at levels along the way. Now, see how we went up. So you rallied up here. In fact, I'm going to do a little zoomy zoom here. There we go. That's easier to see. So we rallied up and then we went like this, sideways chop, right? Okay. And then we had our next level. What this tells me is if we fail and gold comes in here, our first level of support is around 38.75. That'll be the first level that as a technician we want to watch to see if it holds. If it breaks that, where's our next one? Well, right here, right? Up, and then look at the sideways, up and down and up and down, right there. So our next level would be 37.65-ish. Okay, so you can kind of do that on a stair step. Now, if we really had a big correction, what would be our max downside drawdown? I would say it would be a former all-time high because this was the breakout, right? So we talk about a term in technical analysis that I use oftentimes. I say it's a retrace to the scene of the crime. If you followed me for a month, even, you've probably heard that 100 times, right? It means that you had a former major level, you consolidated, pulled back, and then you broke out. So a retrace would be back to that level. That's a retrace to the scene of the crime. And essentially what we would look at is here is the $3,500 level was our major pivot before we went into this 3-month consolidation, and then we had a breakout. And so essentially you would take that. And what's interesting about this, look at where that coincides, the low end of the parallel. So if you're asking me if gold pulls back dramatically, where would I go long? 3,500. 3,500, any pullback to there should be amazing, amazing technical support. All right, on to silver. Let's get into silver, guys. Silver is pushing up. Remember, my longer term target from a while back was $48 to $50. We are now at 49, so we're smack in the middle of that. I haven't shorted any silver yet because honestly, I still think it's getting at least to $50. I already have isolated down my short level. So my zone here, and again, let's take away this. So the way I found 48 to 50 was super simple. Like literally, you guys can learn this in a second. Your former pivot from 1980 was $48. Okay, there's my low end of my target. My high end here was $50. So 48 to 50. That's where it should go and where it's going to start to meet resistance. Now, I think it usually pierces these levels by a little bit. So I have connected that high to this high. It's a slight ascending trend line. And right here gives me my level for a swing trade. So I stress swing trade, not long-term investment. Swing trade, swing short, right around 50.75. All right, but this has been a great move on silver. But really, where are we seeing explosive moves? Palladium. Palladium's having a big move up today. We can see Palladium's up 3.3%. Palladium should continue up, guys, all the way to this zone. See this level right here? That's where I think it's headed. I think we hit that tomorrow. It probably, by the way, coincides with silver hitting 50 plus, right? It makes sense. If, generally these things tend to run together. Gold runs first. Gold is like Bitcoin. Bitcoin runs first. Then gold starts to stall out maybe a little bit. And then the altcoins run, right? And so that Bitcoin stalls out. Altcoin, you guys get the drift, right? It's kind of a pass the baton, if you will, of momentum and money flow. I mean, that's really what it is. They play catch up. So we've had an amazing move, but look at how beaten down Palladium was, right? So, I mean, as great as a move on Palladium, it's not even close to its 2007 high or even the high here from 2011. That's what we would be approaching. And that's my near-term target right up here at around, well, two targets. We have 1735 and then second target would be 1895 to 1900. But right now, this should be a stopping point at 1735. That's what I'm looking. And then Palladium, excuse me, we were just looking at platinum. I'm sorry if I said it was palladium, but platinum, that was platinum. This is platinum. So you're looking at platinum, 1735. Palladium breaking out. Look at this level right here. Look at how we hit it, pulled back right to the scene of the crime. Look at this beautiful down-sloping longer-term trend line. This is a retrace to the scene of the crime, up and boom to the upside. What a move. Where is this going? I have a zone here. I'm going to give you another zone to watch. You take the low from 2021 to the high right here, and you drag that across. And that's your zone target, guys, in the near term. And I'm not saying it can't go higher. I'm just saying this would be, if we went straight up, this would be where you start to really get into resistance between 1550 and 1625. That is where I'm looking for resistance on Palladium in the near term. I still think it can go on beyond that and go higher, but that is no doubt a big level on the charts. Amazing stuff, guys. The metals are just incredible. Obviously, I'm mostly focused on gold and silver. Those are the bigger ones, right? But obviously, platinum and palladium, I mean, great catch-up moves. Absolutely phenomenal catch-up moves. All right. Lots of technical analysis education here, trend lines, you name it. It's what I do here. And my job for you guys is to do this and really showcase some great, solid analysis. I'm never 100% right. But again, can I bat 75, 80%? Heck yeah. With what I show you guys in these videos, I will bat 75 to 80% win rate all day long, every week, every month, every year. That's the key. And by the way, folks, all I ask from you, share it with your friends and family. If you think that they would find it useful. If you think they would find this analysis useful, share it around. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.